Host you truly. Whatever I am, sir, you have made me. Genuinely, sir. भारत भाग्य दाता से रिसर्च शुरू करके today I am hosting a podcast for my organization. It means a lot.
I'm
Genuinely.
glad, I'm glad.
So to start, I'll just give a brief introduction about you. Most of the people would know you in Mumbai, obviously, but still, an amazing debater, great at MUN conferences, had an entrepreneurial journey of yourself, Bharat Bhagya Vedanta, जिसका product मैं हूँ, and I'm proudly say so. Now you're an advocate, you're also a visiting faculty. Sir, first of all, सबसे basic question, how do you manage? Sir, आप इतना सब करते कैसे साथ में?
Uh, I I make a lot of plans. I have a lot of diaries, and I have a lot of failed plans as well.
Mm-hmm.
Every day I organize something. Every day I try to organize. Every week I try to organize. Every month. So my bifurcation goes from a 1 year goal. I have a chart. I use a app called OneNote.
Okay, yeah.
Matlab, I won't be making some, very motivational statements where that, there is that. I'll give you a very practical tip.
True.
There's an app called OneNote,
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft. It's a free app if you have a Microsoft 365 subscription. I have a 1 year aim chart divided by by a half yearly aim chart, then a quarterly aim chart, a monthly one, a weekly one.
Okay.
And then I plan for my day. And there are categories. One is adjustable and second is a non-negotiable. Non-negotiable by its term has to be non-negotiable. It has to be
Absolutely.
done every day. So a lot of failed plans, a lot of permutation combinations, but just a belief that, if you plan, you will at least reach 50% of what you aim.
True.
If you don't plan and only just aim, you will not even reach 50% of that.
ट्रू सर
So,
ये सब चीज़ ऐसी है जो लॉ स्कूल में बहुत ज़रूरी है टू प्लान
Yes. Yeah, 100%. And I would say plan for a very, what do I say, a target which doesn't give you any kind of which will eventually kind of give you a direction. Not deciding and prejudicing your mind with the direction itself. Speaking, very objectively about a law school student.
ट्रू वेरी ट्रू
That, I want to become, I want to eventually go into the criminal practice. That should not be my aim. My aim should be, that is the direction which I have already given my mind ki मैं prejudice करके मेरे mind को
कि उधर ही सोचना है वैसा ही करना है
I will just tell myself that I will try to be better at matters of criminal side as much as possible and see whether and what is my burn off rate there. मैं burnout कितने time में उसमें हो जाता हूँ. That is a very good measurement I feel, Prathav, where people don't realize. I might have an extraordinary love for constitutional matters, right? But after repeated contributions and repeated work towards that, I will have my burnout.
ट्रू
Burnout, whatever you call it. जिसमें मेरे को जल्दी आ जाता है, that may not be my cup of tea. जिसमें मेरे को थोड़ा लंबा आता है और उसमें से रिकवर होने के लिए भी मुझे कम टाइम लगता है, that might be the field of liking. That is how I would choose as a law student, because in profession of law, burnouts are one of the most dangerous pitfalls one has to look out for.
So this is
Law
an interesting way to measure if you are up for the thing which you're going to enter. इस तरीके से कोई सोचता नहीं है कि एलिमिनेशन से भी आप समझ सकते हो कि वो फील्ड आपके लिए है कि नहीं.
That is correct. 1 minute.
Absolutely.
So, and how do you manage? Second is that, so OneNote का मैं सिर्फ बोल रहा था.
Yes,
OneNote में one thing which I did not do for a very long time was also have a third column of review. Now I do a weekly review of my past week.
Okay.
Why things were not done which were to be done.
True.
There can be two reasons for it. One is I could not squeeze them in my ongoing timetable. That is one. And second is they were in my timetable. And I was not able to do that.
True.
And then my fact finding starts. Why was I not able to do that? Is it fatigue? What is it?
Sir, trust me when I say this is my fourth interview and this has to be the best answer I've got for this question. मतलब you are giving the name of the application software you are using, you are giving your way कि आप कैसे इतना उसको break down कर रहे हो, decentralize कर रहे हो.
I feel you have your answers, and you have to be brutally honest. For this, it's a very personal. Planning your aims and a day accordingly is a very personal procedure.
True.
Because you have to be very shameless about it. You have to really confess and confront yourself.
कि मैं कर पाऊंगा क्या?
कि मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ और मैं क्या नहीं कर रहा.
True.
You can be very casual to others when I say no, I was sleeping. I need 7 hours of sleep, etc., etc. But there, when you plan yourself in a closed room, मेरा planning करना, you have to be brutally honest, or you are bound to fail.
True.
और देखो, when you can really reflect on yourself honestly, ठीक है, then तेरे को if you lose, ठीक है, you can really take on, people say that success and loss or failure should be digested. You can easily digest your failures if you know where you are going wrong.
True, sir.
And you don't blame it on luck and other things.
External circumstances.
You know where you have gone wrong, and then you can just it's a relationship, it's a ratio. इधर ये नहीं हुआ, उसके लिए I have gone wrong.
I've done this. True.
So that's how I manage. Very fair.
So to start with the most critical question which I think is for law students, सर क्या 5 साल ज़रूरी है? क्या ये 4 में हो सकता है? क्या ये करिकुलम ज़रूरी है? सर कभी कभार हमें लगता है एज लॉ स्टूडेंट्स कि हम प्राइवेट इंटरनेशनल लॉ पढ़ रहे हैं, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव लॉ पढ़ रहे हैं और इसका कोई आउटपुट ही नहीं निकल रहा है. हम किसी भी इंटर्नशिप में जा रहे हैं या फिर हम कभी भी कोई कंपटीशन में जा रहे हैं तो ये वर्ड तो हम सुन नहीं रहे वहाँ पे कि PIL में क्या हुआ, प्राइवेट इंटरनेशनल लॉ में क्या हुआ. सर तो इज इट रेलेवेंट और शुड इट बी चेंज्ड?
I feel a 5-year course.
Yes, sir.
Can be wrapped up in 4 years. 1 year is a little too extra. 4 years is a good time to wrap up law school. The reason being that, and the curriculum needs to be changed thoroughly. That you teach, the law school has to teach basic principles of law so thoroughly.
True.
And I'll give you a reason here. I'll give you an example. There is a beautiful movie called 36th Chamber of Shaolin.
Yes.
If you have watched it. All the 35 chambers, the 36th is created by the protagonist of that movie.
Yeah.
All the 35 chambers are very basic tasks, very elementary tasks, which eventually help you in becoming a good Kung Fu master. So the basics have to be very clear. For example, English vocabulary. English vocabulary, maybe you have to be taught etymology first.
Words ki history.
Words ki history. Where does the word etc. come from? Where does the word vice versa come from?
True, sir. Latin words है वैसे ही समझते नहीं है, and then we just bug it up for the sake.
What is the difference between shall and may? वो English movie देख के समझ जा रहे हैं. But it is important because you will find, and when you read judgments of various judges, you will find that a legal draftsman, when puts a certain words in the statute, his implied meaning is so and so, is interpreted purely based on the context and grammar of the statute. So if I am giving a power to a certain statutory body, the limits of that power are fairly explained, but they are also explained in the grammar of the law in which it is ingrained.
सर बहुत बार ऐसे ही होता है, हम जजमेंट्स पढ़ते लिखते हैं, जज ने क्या लिखा है समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है, इतना कॉम्प्लेक्स है. सर एक वर्ड तो नॉट विथ स्टैंडिंग, सर ये वर्ड पढ़ के आधे लॉ स्टूडेंट्स वहीं पे घूम जाते हैं कि ये है क्या, क्यों लिखा है पहला वर्ड यही.
without prejudice to the above.
हाँ
What is prejudice? Prejudice towards whom? So I feel that there has to be some basics which have to be so permanently and perfectly ingrained into law students. कि जब बच्चा बाहर आके कोई भी statute book उठाए, see understand it is impossible to explain and make people learn every statute which is out there. That is a limitation on education of law.
True.
Okay. Then I feel that procedure is very important. Civil procedure code, criminal procedure code, definitely very important. Basic laws, जो 8 laws है, they should be taught. IPC and criminal side में 3-4 है, civil side में 5-6 है. They have to be taught because in civil side, creation of right and fulfillment of obligation or liability. These are the basic principles, and in criminal side, the ingredients of crime and the ingredients of defense and their relationship to the fulfillment of, to making of a crime or a defense to a crime, so on and so forth. These things have to be again ingrained as far as the statute is concerned. But overall, जो ये सब optional देते हैं,
electives और वो सब,
give electives and make 1 year LLM, which will be elective, kind of elective कि तुम यार insurance मतलब 1 साल पूरा insurance पढ़ लो.
वो भी हाँ exactly.
It should be 4+1 course if it has to be. तुम 5 साल में masters बन से ही बाहर पढ़ोगे. I'll tell you why. Because if you go to a general education pattern where it is 10 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2.
2 exactly.
And after that last 2 you become masters. Here it is 10 plus 2 plus 5
plus 2
plus 2, which I feel, Indians possess that kind of intelligence where they can adapt that kind of that kind of education in 4 years. It's not very
true, sir. Sir, इसके पहले no other person gave a conclusive answer. They were like कर सकते हैं, हो सकता है, but sir now I feel the clarity of it क्योंकि we are there and we are doing this course. जैसे now I'd be entering my final year and now I know कि 1 साल और वापस वही चीज़ पढ़ना या फिर वापस 2 घंटे 3 घंटे कॉलेज जाना would be so tiring कि मैं फील्ड पे तो जा ही नहीं पाऊंगा. उसके पहले ही मैं इतना एग्जॉस्ट हो जाऊंगा.
Also I feel कि some pattern has to be worked out by the Bar Council of India along with the high courts of respective states. That colleges, law colleges are affiliated or situated in the campus or somewhere in relation with the respective district courts or the high courts of the jurisdiction. You see, medical colleges a lot of times are a part of the hospital itself.
Yeah, very true. GMC for government medical colleges in the hospital and the college together.
Yes. You attend your lectures and after you go to hear the court proceedings.
Very true, sir. This can be an excess.
And you mark your attendance in the courtroom as a part of your attendance in lectures. If you are, for example, if a college is affiliated, for example, my college is affiliated to Bombay High Court, Government Law College. We have a batch of 100 students. My elective for the final year is Law of Indirect Tax, GST, Cervix, etc. I will be mandated to go and sit in the courtroom of the judge
dealing in
who
the
has been
same
given the charge of the indirect tax, the division bench.
True.
Currently, it's Justice Kulkarni with some other brother judge. And I'll go, and my court clerk, the Sharistadar, they are overburdened, agreed. Have one more Sharistadar. He will mark my attendance the way he marks the attendance of all the advocates who appear before the judge.
Absolutely, sir. This should be done. और this मतलब ये खासियत है हमारे लीगल फील्ड की कि इतना डीप रूटेड है सिस्टम कि ये चीज़ हो भी सकती है.
I come in my first day of the practice and I have to really start afresh, which is lost to my so many years given to and see, internship is an option, but then I believe an internship is a good option. It should be allowed in the first 2-3 years. That I'm not saying that internships don't, but once you are in the drill now, if some meritorious students are attending the courts very regularly, they may be appointed as the law clerks of the
Coach.
judge.
True.
There are so many creative options which can be worked out here, but I feel there are the organizations which handle our education are so controlling
Indeed, sir, they are.
that they feel कि ये अपने हाथ से निकल जाएगा तो मतलब क्या ही रहेगा.
क्या रहेगा. BCI का सर्टिफिकेशन इज लाइक बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट फॉर एनी कॉलेज. नहीं मिला तो क्या करेंगे, चले गया तो क्या करेंगे. Accreditation, NAC.
I mean, we have not changed in the pace of the education and the requirements of the market.
So drifting from this topic and coming to a very relevant one now, जिसमें you definitely have a great experience, which is side hustle. सर ये ऐसी चीज़ है जो कि हर स्टूडेंट आजकल करना चाहता है. हर कोई डिजिटल क्रिएटर है. हर किसी को लग रहा है यूट्यूब विल पे देम, इंस्टाग्राम विल पे देम, और टू डू एनीथिंग ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट जस्ट टू अर्न. सर व्हाट डू यू थिंक कैन बी अ प्रॉपर प्रोसीजर फॉर स्टूडेंट्स टू डू सो, क्योंकि करना तो हर किसी को है.
Pritham, if you know, there is a major and a minor subject. In every, again, this is very subjective. I'll tell you why it is very subjective. A side hustle, because the time which has to be dedicated to the side hustle should be independently dedicated. Bombay, what happens is कि travel में ही अपना time निकल जाता है.
वही side hustle हो जाती है.
वही side hustle है. Side hustle is तुम ट्रेन के साइड में लटको रखो side hustle. ठीक है. But in other cities where you have a proper, so you have to build a skill set, I believe, which may or may not be aligned with your main profession. For example, in universities which are outside India, they have a majors in something, they have a minor
in something
else. If in a practical form a minor is worked out in, for example, I can make good portraits, sketch. ठीक है. I can dedicate 1 hour to all the orders I have been getting online. How do you online marketing कैसे करना है? That's a skill set again. Or you are an Instagram influencer or an Instagram manager for a celebrity.
Understood.
That there are so many YouTube videos and guidance videos today, but your core shouldn't be managing social media, because that's a trend. Your skill set has to be basic, which you should be able to sell on social media or wherever you want to sell. So I feel side hustle is something which, if everyone is interested, again I'm saying some people are very ambitious. They want to stick to their majors,
academics and everything.
Yeah. But people who want to do side hustle, I would say if it's a capital intensive side hustle, which requires money, go to a proper trusted accountant. You don't need a CA for this. Work out your prospective expenses. Work out your prospective 6 months 6 months sustenance cost is 9. And 6 months मतलब जब तक you are saying कि I'll get profits in this month. Anticipation of profits अगर 7th month है.
Scalable हो पा रही है.
तो 6 months के sustenance के लिए मेरे को कितना लगेगा? What is the equipment I'll need? इसका थोड़ा you have to do a survey and go in the market.
Okay.
Pick up capital. I mean, take loans from various government schemes. MSME बहुत promote कर रहा है government. Look at what trends are going on. And I am a big promoter of entrepreneurship. I personally am very much interested in entrepreneurship, but given the profession we can't do it actively.
True.
But no, I feel that making money is not a taboo. Till 1990s, making money was a taboo in India. Profits was considered as a bad word in India. In circles today, it's still considered a bad word in India. But no, I mean, you can never achieve your ambitions and goals by working on a fixed salary.
True, sir. This is the thing of future, is what you want to say. That side hustle and earning and being independent economically is something which every student should strive for eventually.
Definitely. You, अरे यार मतलब very frankly, in very Bombay terms if I say, तुम्हारा वड़ा पाव का अगर पैसा निकल जाए ना, बहुत हो गया in your student life. मेरे खाने का अगर पैसा, my expense of eating outside in Bombay is 10,000 rupees. If I manage to carve out 10,000 rupees from my side hustle,
Hmm.
then my side hustle may be going to MUNs and winning them.
True. Absolutely.
It's a time intensive. It's not a capital intensive side hustle. It's a time intensive side hustle.
Hmm.
Then चलो that be that it. मैं महीने में 2 MUN करूँगा,
Hmm.
5-10 हजार जीत लूँगा.
एक
That
हाफ
takes care of
मेरे
my expenses.
ट्रू एक हाफ निकल जाएगा मेरे लाइफस्टाइल का.
But definitely, I don't discourage side hustles. I promote them. But मतलब सब बहे मत जाना उसमें.
हाँ, in a directed
Always
manner.
remember, my first priority number 1 is this. Priority number 2
Who
is
is
my
this?
health. Priority number 3 is my side hustle.
True. सर मूविंग ऑन फ्रॉम दिस, सर अक्सर आजकल ये सुनने में आता है जजेस से भी काफ़ी कि नो वन इज ऑप्टिंग फॉर लिटिगेशन लाइक दे यूज टू बिफोर. और सर ये स्पेशली आपको और मुझे तो मुंबई में फील भी हुआ है. दीज मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटीज, दीज बिग कॉलेजेस, मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ से दे गो टू अ कॉर्पोरेट जॉब, दे एंड अप हैविंग गुड सैलरी, आफ्टर 6 months दे क्विट रियलाइजिंग ये क्या हो रहा है. सर व्हाट इज दिस साइकिल? आई मीन व्हाई डू यू थिंक आर नॉट, आई मीन सर जैसे मैं आपको मेरा पर्सपेक्टिव अगर बताऊँ तो हमें लगता है कि लिटिगेशन इज अंडर पेड. हम जाएंगे हमें कुछ नहीं मिलेगा, वी हैव टू अगेन डिपेंड अपॉन आवर फैमिली जो हम 5 साल से डिपेंड कर रहे हैं, इससे बेहतर कॉर्पोरेट में चले जाते हैं. सर ये सब इतना बड़ा कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है कि स्टूडेंट उसी में रह जाते हैं. सर मैं फाइनल ईयर में हूँ, मैं खुद इसी में हूँ कि करे क्या.
So it's a 2 answers in 2 parts.
हाँ, yes, yes.
First, I'll explain about the history of litigation.
Hmm.
You have to understand after 1990s,
Mm-hmm.
the liberalization
So,
period,
LTG.
LTG, the sector of law also bloomed.
Okay.
Because a lot of diverse businesses came in India,
Mm-hmm.
that also brought a lot of diverse legal questions with them. To solve them, you needed legal experts of that acumen and that field and that expertise.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to 1990s, there was corporate law, no doubt about it. There was, but because a lot of sectors were covered by the government, competition law, mergers and acquisitions, SEBI, capital market, then money market transactions, etc., etc. Over there, but they were a little limited.
Mm-hmm.
After 1990s, everything boomed up, and various sectors opened.
Okay.
Banking sector became huge.
Finance.
Privatized. Insurance became huge. NBFCs became huge. Who are the major players of corporate law field?
Mm-hmm.
All of them have been given an opportunity to do business in India post 1990.
True.
So previously, litigation had a big chunk of say in the bandwidth of what we call as a legal profession.
Understood. Yes, sir.
With the incoming of these other sectors, the bandwidth of litigation has definitely decreased. No doubt about it. But it has sustained. It's a good chunk. I won't number it. I don't know the number.
Mm-hmm.
But again, litigation has also increased because the concept of approachable courts has increased. Accessibility to courts has increased. People have become aware that I can't go to court for this, and they are coming to courts for this.
Sir, as basic as
given rise to frivolous litigation. That has also given rise to frivolous litigation, no doubt about it. But people are coming to the courts.
True.
So this is where my answer lies, that litigation, people don't opt for litigation. Okay, you are giving a solution, legal solution to a legal complex question in any field. In litigation, you become an officer of law and assist the judge to solve or answer that complex question.
True.
In corporate field, you assist your client and the regulatory authorities to overcome that complex question of law. So I feel that you are doing a job just the person who are delivering is different.
तो मतलब वो जो एक फिट था लिटिगेशन, मतलब कोर्ट में जाना वो करना, इज नॉट ट्रू. इट इज मोर ऑफ अ फीलिंग देन जस्ट अ थिंग यू डू.
One more thing to understand, we are relatively a very new legal society.
Okay.
Civil laws and criminal laws, which are general civil and criminal laws, with respect to contracts, mortgage, etc., etc., are now becoming a settled law. 2 + 2 4 अभी शुरू हो रहा है.
True.
That now there is no dispute in, you know, अगर ये किया और ये किया in at least contracts and civil law. Lot of cases. Again, I'm not generalizing it. I'm saying it. You know, this is now becoming clear. That's settled laws जो बोल रहे in terms of judicial decisions is now coming. Now this is a settled law in terms of judicial decisions. No court other than in exceptional circumstances will take a contrary view to this in granting the interim reliefs, even the final reliefs. So litigation also is becoming, now there are different questions. अभी IPR is a new field, etc., etc. तो अभी coming back to your topic कि litigation में अभी लोग कम जा रहे हैं. It's not that. I feel you are helping adjudicating authority to overcome a complex question of law in court. Outside court also you are doing the same thing. Arbitration. I don't discriminate myself into that, you know, I am the team litigation, I am the team non-litigation. I feel we are doing a certain job. The person we are delivering our professional duties are different people.
Means are different, but the end is same, is what it is.
And in terms of monies,
yes sir.
Okay. See, I have a very, very different view. I might have a very different view from a general sector. I don't consent. This is my pedigree, so to say, from my family. That you have to. My personal income is fine. I am earning this much. But मेरा independent कुछ मेरे को, I am dependent on my family. Everyone is dependent on family or for some or the other reason. You don't necessarily have to monetize that every time.
Okay.
My parents depend on my family. My parents also depend on my family, and I also depend on my family.
It's not a very taboo wala thing कि आप अभी भी हो. Why are you doing so? And
India has a good family-based culture. Don't try to, you know, I am not saying ruin it.
I understand what you're saying.
But don't try to objectively say कि मैं independent बनूंगा. अरे ठीक है, बनो ना. You'll have an independent source of income. But my family pedigree has been that you have to consider one as a family income. It's not an HUF necessarily.
True. It's quite understandable.
My grandparents are not today contributing as much as they were 20-25 years ago. Today, no one is going to tell them, why are you not?
True, sir. A very valid point.
You were a businessman. You should have taken care of your pension fund. For any, I am saying any family.
In general, yes, very true.
So if you are a litigating lawyer, you are in some kind parts of struggle in your life, then you don't have to possess the feeling of guilt necessarily. अरे यार अभी भी मेरा पैसा मेरे फादर ही दे रहे हैं. Okay, it's a profession which takes time.
True.
And my family has consciously allowed me to choose this profession.
Exactly. जरा stigma बना दिया जाता है जबरदस्ती.
Very well knowing the risks.
True. Very valid.
No one is today blind in India to know that lawyers take time to establish.
Settle. Yeah, very true.
So my family has collectively taken this gamble कि यार बच्चे को earn करने में थोड़ा time लगेगा. So I don't have to possess. See, the moment you possess a monetary guilt in your mind, it affects your profession. It affects you how you approach your client. I'm telling you, financial pressures lead you to misguide clients and overcommit to clients. अरे सर कर दूंगा मैं. अरे नहीं होने वाला.
जीत ही जाएंगे ऐसे कैसे and everything.
When you don't have a pressure, you can give your objective opinion कि सर ये नहीं होने वाला. He may withdraw your brief from the office. और आपका नाम खराब नहीं होगा, which is a long term. I mean, name is your asset.
Absolutely.
So my take on the financial aspect of legal profession, क्या litigation में पैसा काम है, you have entered the profession very well knowing the gamble.
That ये सब
They
होगा।
allowed you to enter the profession knowing very well the gamble. So if your family is questioning, तुमको बोलो boss, this you knew the.
I was entering into it, yeah.
I was entering into it, and that time there was no objection. हाँ, if I'm doing some wrong thing, मैं घर पे ही बैठा हूँ. I'm not getting any courts. I'm not struggling enough. That is a different case.
True, sir. I understand.
But मेरे को अभी appearance में only an X amount of money मिल रहा है, और उतना ही क्यों मिल रहा है? That should not be
a criteria to
complaint.
Understood, sir.
So I feel I give a family opinion. Family income जो है, you are a contributor to family income, and you are also a क्या बोलते हैं, beneficiary of the family income. Your contribution will keep increasing year by year. Eventually. At one point of time, you have to support your parents.
True.
That time you won't question when you will be charging 5 lakh rupees per appearance.
तब आप ये नहीं बोलोगे कि corporate में तो इतना नहीं मिल रहा। Quite comprehensive answer, sir. This is something which I also understand right now. That सही बात है. It takes time to grow, and eventually everyone knows that you are entering it. So why are you questioning yourself without any reason?
And I feel preserving this family income का concept जो है ना, is very important, because you are then able to take major financial decisions based on that.
True.
Because everyone has to today agree that if you only go to earn individually in your field for the first 5 years, everyone will struggle.
Sir, on this point, एक थोड़ा सा weird question है which I had specifically framed for you. Sir, should we have a मतलब थोड़ा national stipend scheme type कुछ advocates के लिए?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Why?
Sir, this has often been seen और ये काफी एक बड़ा criteria भी बना है. I mean, not in regards to what you said, but in general, किसी 5,000 rupees juniors को, 10,000 rupees juniors को. And sir, ये एक टॉपिक भी उठा था कोर्ट में भी कि शुड वी हैव BCI को सेट करना चाहिए एक बेसिक स्टैंडर्ड, या और तमिलनाडु या कर्नाटक में शायद हुआ भी था कोई स्टेट में कि एडवोकेट को स्टाइपेंड मिलेगी जो कि उसमें
डू अ प्रो बोनो केस एंड अर्न मनी. दैट शुड बी द स्टैंडर्ड. पब्लिक ड्यूटी करो, PD, and let the judge at the time of the order certify whether the person who has taken up the pro bono matter has actually given justice to the brief he is holding, and whether he is then liable to be paid by the government.
True, another way of.
Let the judge decide, faith of the lawyer as well. Why do you need a stipend? Believe me, I am the biggest opponent of giving away freebies to anyone.
True. Yes, no problem.
Yes, we'll continue. Go.
Yes, sir. So I got the answer that नहीं बोलना चाहिए, and you have different ways of earning. Why do you want to depend on the government again for?
Just don't believe his stipend is going to solve. I just feel giving out free money solves the fundamental question of lack of skill sets.
True, sir. उल्टा वो और खराब कर देगा situation.
बहुत खराब कर देगा.
Interesting, sir. So moving on from this and coming a bit more closer to a law student's life, सबसे critical question, sir, internships. सर ये आजकल इतनी रिवॉर्डिंग बन गई है कि इट्स लाइक यू गेटिंग एन इंटर्नशिप इज समथिंग लोग 4 महीने पहले से लिंक्डइन पे डाल रहे हैं. दे आर यूजिंग एवरी कॉन्टैक्ट विच दे हैव बाय हुक और बाय क्रूक, जस्ट वांट टू गेट इनटू दैट माइट बी अ टियर 1 फर्म और अ सीनियर एडवोकेट का चेंबर. सर यू आर एन एडवोकेट, यू आर वेल एस्टैब्लिश्ड. सर डू यू रियली थिंक व्हाइल यू लुक बैक कि अगर कोई इंटर्नशिप में और कर लेता कोई बड़ी जगह पे तो फ़र्क पड़ जाता, या फिर कोई इंटर्नशिप में नहीं करता तो भी चल जाता, और आज मैं उतना ही एस्टैब्लिश्ड होता. सर डज इट मैटर रियली और इज इट जस्ट इतना फैड आ गया इस चीज़ का इंटर्नशिप का?
Let me correct one of your sentences. I'm not very well established. I'm
Sir.
still struggling, still struggling. But my struggles are paying off thoda thoda. But I'm not very.
So from
established.
our
It's not
perspective,
very
we've seen you grow from being a student, then the captain of our team in Maharashtra Vedanta, having conferences with you, and now you're an advocate. So for us, you would be an established individual, not an advocate.
Thank you for your understanding, but it's my belief that I am still not very established. It's going to take a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
I had come in the profession knowing very well, और मेरे मन को मैंने बहुत समझा के इस प्रोफेशन में लाया है, that it's a long drawn battle.
True.
40-50 years तुमको डटे रहना है. It's a test match.
Keep playing.
Yeah, बस तुमको खेलते रहना है. When you get an opportunity, you have to swing your bat, open the face of your bat, and swing it.
So don't be a Kohli and 6 stump की ball को मत खेलो.
Actually, I don't follow the recent cricket, so I won't be criticizing any, but it's not a haste game कि मेरे को साला सेंचुरी करना ही है. और every ball I will get an opportunity to score a run.
Sir, is this your answer also to my question कि हर internship is not that कि आप उसके लिए अपनी जी जान लगा दो, हर contact use कर लो और इतना वो हो जाओ कि just forget everything else?
Now, tell me one thing. Your internships are for two things. I believe. One is to learn a practical experience and first-hand knowledge of how a particular sector of your profession works and functions. And second is to improve your CV, which is eventually going to help you getting placed in some form. Now, I have done only 2 internships. That too in my final year.
Okay.
One with an advocate who's practicing in district courts. And the second and my final internship was with my senior advocate Pradeep Gandhi, who also accepted me as his associate immediately after. And I got placed there only, and everything which I learned about law in my profession is from Pradeep sir. So I did only 2 internships.
Yes.
Okay. But I tried to learn every bit of litigation. I asked the stupidest question to both my seniors. And I used to just tag along with them. Wherever they go, every courtroom they go. I was very much interested because I was learning. Boss. And I'm telling you, my target at that time was not to become independent. My plan then was to stick with Pradeep sir for 3 to 4 years, then eventually join a senior counsel or a counsel in Bombay High Court for next 3 to 4 years, and then think something of my own. Things were destined for me differently. So I started independent practice very early in my very early. Very early. So internship for me was just an opportunity to learn the profession in and out. Why is a notice of motion called a notice of motion? Why is a chamber summons called a chamber summons? Why cannot be an interlocutory order amended? Why a judge sits where he sits? Why a lordship in High Court is called lordship but not a district court? मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ in very Bombay terms, no चाट लो internship करोगे तो. Not for name. I'll tell you I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but I'm telling you if you want to learn something, you can learn from anywhere. कहाँ से भी सीख लो. You go to a advocate who practices in metropolitan magistrate courts, you'll learn a lot. You go to a senior gown, you'll learn a lot. तुम मतलब एकदम profession, if you want to learn a profession, you have to know the people in the registry. And litigation के बारे में I cannot comment on corporate law and तुमको registry कहाँ पहले starting, where is your court? Where is this court? Why is this court? why do the cases which come to this court in the first place and not the other courts?
True.
Where is the registry? Where does the filing happen? What are the types of filings? What are the objections which are? तुम भाई सब जान लो. And then when you actually land up for an associate position or an interview for an associate position, if the senior knows that this boy can get me an adjournment with proper reasons, this boy can get me an application filed within a day, this boy can argue some miscellaneous matters on delay or something, he is ready, he can read briefs, read a lot. This is my, there's one intern which I have taken from, I think, NMI में सुन ली, रजनीश करके है.
Okay.
तेरा junior होगा I guess. I am just making him read everything today. read. मेरे brief में कहाँ होता है? Prayer क्या है? What is the long title, short title? Affirmation कहाँ है? Affidavit क्यों होता है? Docket क्या होता है? Just read.
Go through things.
हाँ, ये नेम सेक के लिए इनकमिंग इंटर्नशिप.
Exactly.
इनकमिंग यार, मैं तो इनकमिंग कहीं लिखता भी नहीं हूँ. जब भी लिखोगे, जब बन जाओगे ना, when you start on your first day, तभी LinkedIn पे डालो.
True sir. Ex intern sir, past intern ये सब. और सर this is the phenomena. I'll be honest with you सर, इतना प्रेशर आ गया ये इंटर्नशिप्स का. I cannot even tell you. सैम, कैम, ट्राइलीगल कहता है, मतलब ये कोई अपना गोत्र भूल जाए पर ये चीजें ना भूले, ऐसी सिचुएशन है.
अरे I'll tell you, I can't vouch again for corporate law. There maybe internships देख के उधर लेते होंगे, मेरे को पता नहीं उधर कैसे लेते हैं. मैंने कभी उधर गया नहीं. ठीक है, मैं लिटिगेशन की बात मत करो. लिटिगेशन में इंटर्नशिप तुम सिर्फ लर्निंग के लिए करते हो. मेरे को कहाँ का, अरे if a very human, as I am putting it out as human based person, understand in any profession you are an economic product.
Okay.
ठीक है, I'm again saying as humanly as possible I'm putting it out. How good of a economic product you are out there, what USP do you provide, that determines where you land.
True sir. मतलब a very interesting perspective to put it.
How do you communicate with your clients? तुम client को सिखाते बैठेगा तो client तेरे को कभी ब्रीफ नहीं देगा.
हाँ.
Client को अगर एक convey करना है ना चीज, तो कैसे convey करना है. Client counseling is a huge aspect in litigation which does not, neither law school focuses on, neither the professional. क्योंकि क्या है, तुमको my seniors were very liberal, so liberal that they made me sit in their conferences with clients for me to see how they deal with their client, not bearing the fear in the mind कि सारा ये client उठा लेगा और भगा देगा.
हाँ, true sir.
ठीक है, my seniors were very liberal. They made me sit in the conferences with them. So I saw how they are dealing with the clients. Business लाना भी है ना.
True sir. आना भी चाहिए.
You may be a fantastic person in terms of law. You know everything. You know the ingredients. You know everything. But if you can't attract your clientele, what is the use?
What is the use? True sir.
And you have to attract your clientele. You can't solicit your profession. That is fine.
But still
for attracting clientele, तुम्हारा communication is the key. उसके लिए वो इसका बहुत अच्छा बुक है डेल कार्नेजी का, How to Make Friends and Win People.
Win, हाँ, pretty famous.
I think Win Friends and Make कुछ ऐसा कुछ तो है.
Make people listen to you ऐसा कुछ.
Something. So good communication होना चाहिए. So internship I feel for litigation should be used for the purposes of learning and knowing.
Understand.
तुमको अगर और फाइनल इंटर्नशिप ऐसे ही जगह करो फाइनल ईयर में जहां तुमको सच में लैंड होना है. And there if they find a value in you, they will keep you 100% because litigation में आज let me be very honest.
Yes sir.
There is a dearth of good talent.
Okay.
सब शोबाजी करने वाले बहुत है.
सर ये तो आप हमेशा बोलते हैं.
मैं तो बीबीबी के टाइम पे भी बोलता था.
हाँ, exactly.
उठने वाले पतंग उड़ाने वाले बहुत लोग.
बहुत है.
You have to be as genuine as possible.
True sir.
That's my internship answer.
Sir, I've already taken 45 minutes of your Sunday evening. Sir, coming to the end of this interview, sir, एक बहुत ही basic सवाल. सर हम सब कॉलेज में सीपीसी अच्छे से पढ़ लेते हैं, सीआरपीसी पढ़ लेते हैं, काफ़ी लॉस पढ़ लेते हैं सर, बट इंटर्नशिप में पहली चीज़ जाके आती है वर्ड, और ये हमें कोई नहीं पढ़ाता। पावर पॉइंट ये हमें कोई नहीं
करेक्ट
पढ़ाता।
करेक्ट।
एससीसी ऑनलाइन यूज़ करना, मनुपात्र यूज़ करना, सर ये क्वालिटीज़ आपको क्या लगता है कितनी ज़रूरी है, और ये क्यों पढ़ाई नहीं जा रही है, और हम कैसे पढ़े अगर हमें कहीं पढ़ा नहीं जा रही?
वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन प्रथम। आई फील अगेन एज आई सेड, सीखना, use internships to learn these things. Sit with the steno. In litigation, you will get to sit with your steno as well. Learn how you dictate, because dictation is an art. When you eventually grow in your profession, you can't type everything. तुमको dictate करके ही खत्म करना है चीजों को. So dictation के लिए you have to have a clear thought process in your mind. मिनिमम स्क्रिबलिंग में तुम्हारा थॉट प्रोसेस क्लियर होना चाहिए कि नहीं, मेरे को पहले ये डिक्टेट करना है, बाद में ये डिक्टेट करना है, बाद में ये डिक्टेट करना है. उसके लिए यू हैव टू रीड ऑल द पेपर्स, यू हैव टू नो द वेटेज ऑफ ऑल द पेपर्स. बट वर्ड है, एक्सेल है, देन एससीसी है, मनुपात्रा है. एससीसी मनुपात्रा तो देयर आर वर्कशॉप्स कंडक्टेड बाय दीज वेबसाइट्स देमसेल्व्स.
अच्छा, हाँ, मनुपात्रा itself and
they conduct it themselves, that they will conduct it. If they see your prospective customer in you, तुम्हारे लिए वो फ्री भी कंडक्ट कर देंगे, so that's not a problem. But as far as word is concerned, as far as excel is concerned, ठीक है, I feel it comes with experience only, because everything in word is not helpful to me as a lawyer.
हाँ, true.
मेरे को कुछ ही चीजें सीखनी है. We are going to be formatting कैसे करना है, formatting कैसे करते हैं. And I have been very very fortunate. This is a golden advice. I am not in a position to give advice.
Sir, why are you being so?
But then, I'll still see that if at all I had to provide an advice to someone who's in 10th standard right now and aspiring to become a lawyer, join typing classes. मेरे मदर और फादर ने बहुत इंसिस्ट करके अगेंस्ट माय resistance, they had me inducted into typing class. I gave exams of typing. I have a good speed today. फटाफट निकल जाता है हाथ से बाहर.
सर ये तो बहुत बेसिक है.
I feel blessed कि भाई ये तो मतलब क्या ही मेरे को दे दिया था. Please learn typing and learn it on a typewriter. Bring a typewriter home.
Very true.
And learn वो क्यों वो सिखा दे तुमको. Typing class होगा जो में हो जाएगा. Don't give the exams, but then improve your speed.
सर ये ऐसी चीज़ें जो कोई बताता नहीं है. इवेंचुअली व्हेन यू एंड अप इन एन इंटर्नशिप और जॉब, एक क्रैश लैंडिंग होती है जो आपको ये सब फेस करना पड़ता नहीं. लाइक यार मैं इतना लॉ पढ़ के आया हूँ, बट मैं लॉ को प्रोजेक्ट ही नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ एक वर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट में. सर एक ओपिनियन बनाना नहीं आ रहा है, या फिर कोई रिसर्च पेपर की फॉर्मेटिंग नहीं आ रही है. सर ये सब चीज़ें इतनी एनकाउंटर करते हैं लॉ स्टूडेंट जैसे हम लोग, और फिर रियलाइज होता है कि ये तो पहला सब्जेक्ट होना चाहिए था.
That is correct. That is very correct. So I think that would be my, अभी कोई अगर 10th 11th में हो, क्लैट का प्रिपरेशन कर रहा है, तो क्लैट के प्रिपरेशन के साथ रोज आधा एक घंटा सुबह टाइपिंग का प्रैक्टिस करते जाओ भैया. दिस विल बी द मोस्ट यूजफुल थिंग which you will
Absolutely, sir.
which will help you in your primary years. Once you can afford a steno, eventually where your clients are ready to pay that cost of the steno along with the litigation expenses, then you won't need this. Then you will be dictating drafts. But for the first 4, 5, 6, 8 years, whatever you take, typing है भाई तुम्हारे साथ.
सर टाइपिंग, वर्ड, एससीसी ये सब अगर नहीं आएगा तो आप सीख के भी क्या करोगे?
Handicap. I would call you as someone is handicapped, क्योंकि अगर आ ही नहीं रहा है तो how will you will take more time. Will take much more time than other people who know this.
True. Sir, coming to the end, what is that one message which you want to give to the law students? You yourself have witnessed this journey. You've done competitions, publications, everything. Sir, क्या आप एक मैसेज देना चाहोगे जो जेन्युइनली कंफ्यूज्ड है, जिनको 4th ईयर में आके रियलाइज हो रहा है कि यार हमारे पब्लिकेशंस नहीं है, कॉम्पिटिशन्स नहीं है, या फिर ये क्या ये स्ट्रेस अनड्यू है, या फिर इज इट टाइम टू वेक अप? व्हाट इज इट?
It's unnecessary, unreasonable, unwarranted stress, I feel. First 5 years, yaar, I'll tell you.
Yes, sir.
MUNs gave me a lot of things. They gave me the courage to speak publicly. I, very frankly, because of MUNs and education competitions, my struggle was very limited to open up before a court of law. I will very honestly confess.
So you had that thing developed already.
नहीं करना पड़ा to open and speak in a court of law. Because I had an experience of speaking publicly. It's one. Then MUN also gave me the knack of researching. Research कैसे करता है in short period of time and get your message across in 90 seconds, 60 seconds. You have to be very brief about it. कौन सा क्या मेरे को bowling क्या करना है वो मेरे को पता है आज. But because of again MUN, so I feel and this everything of this very frankly came very unknowingly to me. अभी realize हो रहा है कि अरे ये तो मतलब
हेल्प कर रहा है कितना
हेल्प कर रहा है. ठीक है. So I feel that you have to for first 5 years make connections, make great connections. Improve yourself as an individual, as a communicator. If you can't communicate with them in your profession, you are dead. अगर तुम जज के सामने चुप बैठोगे, you are dead. अगर क्लाइंट के सामने चुप बैठोगे, you are dead. अगर सामने वाले लॉयर के सामने चुप बैठोगे, you are dead.
Very true, sir. This is the
you can't communicate. And I am an introvert. That doesn't mean introvert. People mistake introversy, introvertness to not being able to speak publicly. I can be an excellent orator.
You have been, sir.
Introvert as a personality. Introvert personality is confused. I am an introvert. How can I speak? You are an introvert. Introvert मतलब क्या? Generally, in private and public life, you don't speak much. You're not a chatterbox. Okay? Or you don't express everything openly. That's introvertness. But that doesn't mean you're not an extrovert. तुम्हारा mic तुमको सामने दे दिया तुम एकदम मतलब पूरा ब्रेबॉन स्टेडियम खड़ा कर दो.
True, sir. Very true. There has to be a compartmentalization.
There has to be a differentiation.
True.
So, as a law student, I feel people are taking too much pressure. I see a lot of cutthroat competition. तुमको लीगल प्रोफेशन में आने से पहले ही बर्नआउट हो जाएगा.
सर
बोल रहा हूँ
मन की बात सर.
पागल हो जाओगे एंड दिस विल रिजल्ट इनटू नथिंग. You will leave the profession in first couple of years only. यार ये हो ही नहीं रहा है.
So this has to go on social media. This is so important. कोई ये बोल नहीं रहा है, फील सब कर रहे हैं सर ये.
नहीं यार. And I'll tell you again, I came with a very humble understanding. कि दोस्त तेरे को आज 40 साल इधर खड़े रहना है. My target, ठीक है. Eventually I'll grow, I'll struggle every day. My targets will or will not be met every day. That's a different part of story. But अगर मेरे को 40 साल खड़ा रहना है, that means effectively that I don't have to give up and I don't have to take that kind of pressure which will make me give up.
True sir. नहीं तो कोई पॉइंट ही नहीं है इतना पढ़ने का, इतना स्ट्रगल करने का जब आप कर ही नहीं पा रहे हो.
I have so many bright colleagues. First of all, let me confess from my law school who are doing so well, exceptionally better than me. Okay, but I don't reflect their success on my ongoing day. He got a reported judgment. He's working with the senior counsel. He's assisting people today. क्या मैं क्या ही करूँ, मेरा तो मतलब कुछ नहीं हो गया, मेरा तो बाधा रुक गया. अरे why? You have your clientele. Make them happy. Get good orders for them. Focus on the cases which you have in your hand.
True.
उसका देखो. इसमें a lot of people feel that they implicate others' success on their own trajectory.
As their own failure.
At their own trajectory.
True.
तुम्हारा मिरर तुम हो भाई. कि mirror is called mirror for a reason. तुमको वो तुम्हारा चेहरा दिखाता है. Exactly. वो दूसरे का चेहरा नहीं दिखाता. Don't reflect. I feel it's too much pressure, and Prathav, this will eventually end up in damaging a lot of people's well-deserved careers.
True sir. Very true.
कोई अगर सच में bright है, but वो इस competition के वजह से एक तो pressure में आ गया, कुछ गलत कर दिया, in the sense he burns out himself, leaves the profession, or under the pressure, कुछ health problems चालू हो गया. Again, this profession is not great at giving you a lot of sleep.
True.
Sleepless nights, वो सब है. It's true. I'm no denying that. नहीं मेरे को I had to sleep every day 7 hours a day. ठीक है. Sleepless night. But then if you have heard properly, मैं बोला first is your major profession. Second is your health. And third is your side hustle.
True.
And in this order.
This is chronological order is important.
So, again, to some understand, when I have to stand for 40 years, that also means that my health has to
be
support me for 2
sustainable
years.
for those years.
हाँ
True, sir.
ठीक है, तो आई थिंक इट्स अ लॉन्ग ड्रॉन बैटल. लिटिगेशन में आ रहे हो तो तुमको बिरयानी खाना है, मैगी नहीं खाना है. टेक सम टाइम.
Absolutely, sir.
थोड़ा
Absolutely.
पकने के लिए टाइम लगता है.
टाइम लगता है. सर विद दिस 1 घंटा हो गया सर, पता भी नहीं चला आपसे बात करते करते. एंड सर इट्स जेन्युइनली एन ऑनर टू बी इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू. सर आपको ऐसा लगता है कि आप नहीं हो, बट फ्रॉम आवर पर्सपेक्टिव यू आर समथिंग टू गेट इंस्पायर्ड फ्रॉम. सर मुझे अभी भी याद है, मैंने आपको बोला था दैट आई वांट टू स्टार्ट समथिंग ऑफ माय ओन, एंड द फर्स्ट थिंग यू सेड इज कि जो भी करना है देश के लिए करो, एंड बिल्कुल करो. व्हाई आर यू इवन आस्किंग? मेरा फुल सपोर्ट है, जस्ट डू इट.
Obviously, I'm very happy. I see your podcast. I get some time when I get some time. I definitely listen to the bits and pieces of in your podcast.
Sir,
I feel you are doing a great job, and I'll tell you why you are doing a great
yes, sir.
job. We had our differences of opinion. Very openly let me
Very
state.
true. Yes, sir.
But I am happy that we had a difference of opinion, and you were not a. I mean, no one was a sycophant in Bharat Bhagavata. Everyone was given an opportunity
True.
to express. But you really went ahead because you wanted to start a podcast section in the BBV.
Also, yes.
Also, for reasons at that point of time we were not able to start that or kick out that properly. You started on your own, and without dissing BBV or me or anyone, in a very good competitive spirit.
True.
You started something of your own and it's going great. I'm very happy. I am very happy because you still remember that there is some part of BBB inside.
Sir, not even a question. It will always be on everywhere when I go, sir. That 2 years on BBB has definitely given me a lot. Definitely.
That is a satisfaction which is enough. I mean, I am very happy and content when someone gives me, BBB has contributed something to my life, and I have helped some to make or make or break something in your life to result in something good. So I'm very happy. All the best, and I hope that we definitely rub shoulders and court in future.
Absolutely, I'll be waiting for it.
And it will be a pleasure to argue against you.
Sir, it will be my pleasure, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay?
Have a good day.
Yes. Bye.